Welcome to Going Beyond, and thank you so much for once again joining us here on our program. My studio guest is Dr. S. Dharshini. Now, apart from being a doctor, there's much more to her than just that, but I think it's better for her to tell me all about it. And so I'll just start my chat with her. Thank you, Dharshini, so much for coming here and being with us. I do appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, ma'am.
No.
I'm so grateful to be here.
No.
Such lovely crew and yourself.
Thank
so
you.
warm and
Thank
welcoming.
You. Thank you very much.
I'm Dr. Dharshini.
Yeah.
I completed my MBBS last year in Government Medical College, 𝗠𝗘𝗗𝗏, which is suited in 𝗔𝗡𝗏. I went through NEET, a full merit seat.
Let's go step by step now,
Yeah,
okay? Sure. So I think it's been very recent, isn't it,
yes.
that you've been doing beauty contests or beauty shows in at a Miss India level, right?
Yes.
So how does that work? Have you enjoyed that?
It's not totally about enjoying. It's what I did for my passions. If I really put my heart and soul, I did try my best to enjoy, but I did realize there are a lot of things that I had to sacrifice, like right from dieting, workouts, maintaining your physique, at the same time preparing for your very big exams, which is NEET PG. It's one of the most toughest competitive exams. So I would have enjoyed if I did the beauty pageants full time, but it was quite difficult for me as I had to balance both.
Would you at some point of time go back to beauty pageants just for the fun of it, I would say?
I think I would. If I don't have any other commitments like my exams, I would.
Right, okay. Was there a lot of girls participating?
There were a lot of beautiful girls, very hardworking, and most of them did modeling and beauty pageants full time. I didn't really see anybody who did a lot of other things in the sidetrack like I was.
Right.
So I did make a lot of good friends out there.
Right, that's good. That's a nice start, isn't it? Yes. You've done some modeling as well, haven't you?
Shoots here and there, but only when time permits. I concentrate on my education first and give my free time for the modeling, shoots and everything else.
Right. From your biodata, I also saw that you're quite interested in football. Huh?
Yes, of course. I was the top 20 of the Indian football team of the under 13 back in my school days. And I've represented state multiple times, district multiple times, and also got the national's best goalkeeper award.
Ah, that's interesting, isn't it?
And South Zone twice. I got the best goalkeeper of South Zone twice. I was always the youngest player in my team. When I was representing under 19, I was barely 16. Right. I was pretty much the youngest. So that taught me a lot of things like leadership, adjusting to the crew. You know, not everyone will be flexible.
That's true, that's true, yeah. But it must be very difficult. To be a goalkeeper is a pretty difficult position when you play any game, really, any of the games that have a goal and a goalkeeper.
Yes.
So how did you choose? Did you actually opt to be a goalkeeper?
I was basically an athlete. And I was running pretty fast, and I also started growing a little taller than my batchmates, which suited the goalkeeper position. So I was starting to get trained as a goalkeeper, but I did find it was a little pressure on me all the time because, you know, a defender, there are always few people. Midfield, there's few people there, but a goalkeeper, there's just one. So it felt like there's more responsibility, and people will easily get to blame me if I leave a goal. They don't blame the team.
I know, that's true.
Yeah.
I think that is the difficulty of being a goalkeeper. So do you watch football a lot?
Not really, not right now. I'm not currently following any sports as such.
Okay. Do you think you'd like to go back to doing that?
I would, obviously, more than modeling. I would like to go back to playing sports. But, you know, I feel sports is a career which is not very permanent. You're just one injury away from losing your career. I did have a small injury in my knee. So that gave me a very hardship during my football practice. I had to work very hard to get out of that injury and start playing again.
Right.
So that is when I really decided that education is something they can't take it away from you.
Yes, that is true. What do you think about women and girls playing football? Well, I mean, I love it, but tell me about you.
Personally, I feel football makes you so furious and competitive.
Did you say furious?
Yes.
Why?
Yes, it makes us, brings out something in us, some spirit in us. It sometimes makes me forget about everything other than football at the time I'm in the game. I just forget everything everything else apart from the game.
Okay.
So I also feel that girls playing sports, they're so bold, they're not scared of anything. And I personally feel that was the reason I'm sitting here all calm and chill. Even though this is a very nice setup, many people would have felt so nervous.
Intimidated
Yes.
in a way.
Yes.
Intimidated.
But this football sports background of mine makes me all chill and relaxed all the time.
Right. Interesting that you said makes you furious.
Yes.
Don't you think, Dharshini, that other games would do the same thing in a different form, maybe in a different way?
Any sport I feel which involves a lot of physical exertion apart from chess or anything which is more of a mind game, I feel it does brings out some spirit in you, some power in you.
Some competitive spirit, of
Yes,
course, I would
yes.
say. I would say it's competitive spirit
It is.
more than
I agree.
anything else. Did you ever feel like punching somebody across the face?
Not really, but
Not that bad.
No, not. But I was very furious a lot of times when referees favor the other team when you're going to traveling places, and there are stuff that happens in every field.
I would imagine
Yes.
so. But in terms of actually being on the field, being angry about something, surely when you get off the field, you've calmed down and you've cooled down and everything is okay. Did you find that?
Yes, definitely. Actually, I would say in my entire team, I was always very funny, talkative. I used to talk with people, relax them out of their stress. So whenever I go out of the field after the match, I always make fun, jokes. I calm the entire mood. That is what I always did in my team when I was in school.
Okay.
So that did help me get along with a lot of people, be it my seniors, be it my juniors. I was
Okay.
always in the middle of making friends between all the group.
Who started you in football?
It was my school's coach who observed how athletic I was. I was pretty fast in all the small races which got conducted in my school. And my dad, of course, he supported me very much. My parents were supportive and they did let me play in small competitions where they identified my talent and took me to the next level.
Right. When you started your football, you were what, 12, 13 years old? Were you?
Probably 11 years old.
11, is it? As little as that?
Yes.
Yeah. At that time, did the school itself encourage you to get into football? Did they?
Yes, we had a pretty decent team back then, and there were budding players, all good performing players back then in my school. So that gave me an edge over other football teams where people started from scratch. I already had a place to walk in and showcase my talent.
Right.
So I feel that helped me a lot.
Right. Are there any other games that you like?
Being a football goalkeeper, you can catch everything easily, right from basketball, and they let me play cricket sometimes in school, like being a wicket keeper. Dhoni is a goalkeeper and a wicket keeper. So I did try a lot of games here and there, but never really represented to this level, like
Right.
in football.
I mean, to be at the national level in a game like football for a young woman must be quite tough, right? Is the competition very, very tough?
The competition, of course, is very tough.
Really?
Yes, it is. And I did have an edge of good coaches I had, and my height was a very good advantage, and I was pretty hardworking. I used to always be there in the fields. My school teachers would still remember me as the little girl who completes all her work within school hours. I used to be the topper of my class most of the times, and I used to be in the grounds as well. They used to call my parents and tell, when does your child actually study? So I was that much into football. I was always I loved it. I never thought I'll become a doctor. Yes.
So you're going to be one of the few doctors eventually, maybe someday in the Indian football team, right? I hope that you will continue the football at some point of time, would you?
I wouldn't professionally continue playing football after this. I would play here and there in turfs with my friends maybe, but I don't really have a plan of continuing it full time.
Right. What is it that you want to specialize in your medical career?
In NEET, it always depends on your rank. The higher the rank is, the more choices you'll get in choosing your degree. So I'm preparing, I'll give my best, and it depends on how good I'm performing in my exam.
Right.
Other than that, I am slightly leaning towards gynecology, obstetrics and gynecology as my PG. We'll see.
Not sort of, what is it? The doctors who do your knees and who do your back and
ortho.
not the ortho guys,
No,
right?
not at all.
All right. Your medical college, which one was it?
It's Government Medical College, 𝗠𝗘𝗏. It's in Chennai.
Did you find that a nice place to be at?
Talking about my college, it was a pretty decent place. It wasn't too cruel or evil to me. it did its job. The
Right.
learning, everything was perfect.
Did they want you to play football? Did they encourage you, or didn't they have any sort of team at that level?
They didn't really have a team which could represent a nation. They did have small teams which could represent intra-college and inter-college events, but I didn't really participate in any of the sports. In the first year of my MBBS, I got the Miss Veeradhana award, which is the most well-performing athlete of the college. As soon as I entered the college, I was the youngest, and that was the last time I even participated in sports as a competition.
Okay, so as part of your athletic career, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
What else was it that you actually got involved in?
Other than football, I was into athletics.
Which one? Any event? Any special event?
It's mostly 800 meters.
Okay,
I was
that's
pretty
a long
good.
one.
Yes.
That's a long run, isn't it? Yes.
Yes. You know, football players, they tend to have good stamina.
Good stamina, yes.
Because the game is pretty long. So 800 meters was pretty good for me. But I didn't really practice for the nationals level. I concentrated on football.
Right. Are there any other athletes in your family or your relations?
My dad is the national's best parade commander of NCC, and he
Right.
got the presidential dinner. So he's very athletic. He's a strong man. He's a cop, and he's still fit. He's 57 and very fit. Workouts, cycles every day. I think that is athletic about him.
That's right,
And
yes.
my brother, he's a prodigy. He's a scientist. He did
Okay.
his PhD when he was 26. So he hasn't really leaned towards athletics that much. And my mom is also not very athletic, but fit.
When you look back, you know, are you glad that you actually picked up football as a little girl rather than any other sport? Are you
I
happy
am
about that?
actually very glad, because that's some memory that I'll always carry forward. It's been more than 5 to 7 years since I played football, right? But still, as I talk, the memories are so fresh, and there's no single regret that I want to go back and change.
Do you actually go off to football tournaments and watch them? Do you watch football on television? Since that's obviously your interest, do you still do that? Do you
No,
try
when
to
I was
manage to?
actively playing football back in school, I was. But right now, I'm not really following any sports.
Right. The Football World Cup is coming up, I think, isn't it?
Yes, but I'm not really following it
No?
nowadays.
Would you like to at some point of time actually go to a real football country, you know, where they're really mad about football, say maybe the UK or Europe or something like that?
I would definitely, when I start traveling, you know, after my education, I would definitely visit a country like that.
Right. So now that you're doing the NEET, when does that come up?
It's August 30th this year.
Okay, fine. How long will it take the results to come out after that?
Pretty much 15 to 20 days.
Right. Will you then have an option to choose the college you want to go to?
Yeah, it totally depends on my performance. If I perform really well, I'll get to choose whatever degree or college I want.
And that will also determine the specialty that you
Yes.
can actually choose,
Yes,
right?
yes.
What is your love for gynec that you want to go into that? I mean, you know.
Yeah, in
Obstetrics
internship,
and gynaec, yeah.
In internship, we get to practice in all the departments and explore.
really? Okay,
yes,
that's
we had
nice.
1 year. That too in a government college, as you know, the
Yes.
patient load is so high.
Is
You
it?
barely get time to sleep.
I know.
So I worked 1 month in 𝗏𝗏 Hospital, which is
Okay.
in Triplicane. It's very
Yes,
famous.
I know the hospital,
Yes,
yes,
it's
yes.
very famous, and there were multiple deliveries happening overnight.
I
We
know.
never got time to eat or sleep.
Yeah.
But something about the posting never made me feel tired or
Actually, I
sad.
think as far as a government hospital is concerned, there's nothing like the kind of experience and practice that you
Exactly.
get, isn't it?
Yes, they let me do a lot of hands-on. They let me deliver a lot of babies, even though I was just an intern after MBBS.
Right,
They gave
okay.
me a lot of chances. And something about the posting never made me tired or unhappy. So that is the reason I thought I should lean towards gynecology.
That's very interesting. Do you have any gynecs in your family?
Not really. I'm the first doctor of my
Oh,
family.
really? Okay,
Yes.
that is very, now that I think is very, very interesting. The 𝗏𝗏 Hospital is in that Triplicane area,
Yes.
and predominantly caters to the people who live in that locality, isn't it?
Yes.
It's a very, very crowded hospital.
It's very crowded, ma'am.
Really?
Yeah, stepping inside that for the first day, I was scared. I was scared how to even complete the 1 month of the gynecology posting. But the 1 month felt like nothing because I love working.
Right. Yeah, I've actually seen the hospital, and I've been in there, and I know somebody who's actually born in that
Okay.
hospital. What about all the other hospitals in our city? What about the government hospital, the new one? How is that doing? Have you had a chance to actually? You studied there, right?
Yes, I studied there.
So did you actually practice and do stuff in that hospital itself?
The remaining 11 months, we had to practice in that hospital, which is OMC. We had very decent amount of inflow and outflow of patients. We had very good exposure of all the surgical procedures. They taught us everything during the surgeries. They let us do few minor surgeries. And the exposure was very decent for whatever is required out of an MBBS student.
Right. What do you think about our medical education in India by and large? Now, you've just been through the mill, so I'm just kind of curious, did you find it a good learning curve for you? Did you find it interesting? Would you like to have gone through that whole thing again?
Going through the whole internship again,
No.
A strong no, because
I like that's a very strong no.
Yes, very strong. I
Yeah.
would never go back. But the learning, it is going to come throughout my life, I feel.
Really?
Because that is the age and time where you have everything. You don't have to worry about anything else. You have the energy, you have the interest,
Yes.
and you can just keep running and learning. So I really enjoy doing that, but I would never go back to doing that.
Okay.
And the medical system in India, I feel doctors are kind of overworking. I would tell that. India is very good, the number of hospitals are pretty high.
Yes.
Talking about Tamil Nadu, it's the medical hub of India.
Yes.
There is maximum number of medical colleges we are aware of. In Chennai, we have 4 main,
Yes.
very big medical colleges, starting with MMC, Stanley, KMC,
Yes.
and OMC, which
Yes.
is my college. So I wouldn't complain about any of the infrastructure. The government is trying its best, but I would feel that there could be better rooms to sleep in for the doctors, better flexible hours for the doctors, more number of doctors, because when we doctors feel sick, we don't have replacement. We need to push through.
Really?
I've had a lot of nights where I was not feeling sick. I had stomach pain. I had vomiting and food poisoning. I was not given enough replacement.
What about the teachers and professors in the government colleges? I often wonder, how dedicated are they? Did you find that they were genuinely interested in imparting of their knowledge to the students?
They are very much interested, and most of the professors, they took care of us like their own kids.
Really?
They do feel bad for us. They do understand us because they have been through all the hardships to get to there.
But hold a minute. Was it as bad for them, I mean, as rough for them as it is for you
It would have
now?
definitely been.
You think it would have been worse?
It could have been worse because
Really?
right now we have more diagnostic technologies.
Yes.
We can diagnose a disease faster than they could because they need to do everything on their own. They didn't have any other help like we did. So I think it would have been more difficult back then for them. But so that is the reason why they actually understand what we go through.
Okay. Did you have to go on actual ward rounds and things like that?
Ward rounds pretty much every day,
Really?
sometimes 2 times a day.
Oh, that's
Yeah, there is
interesting.
something called admission day, if I would tell. There is every day for a specific unit, they need to report in the morning 8 a.m. at the OP, where patients go
Right.
and
Fair
get
enough.
medicines from us. And it continues with the duties in the emergency department with a half an hour of lunch break. And then it goes till overnight. And we'll have emergency operations that we have to conduct. Our PGs and professors will conduct operations throughout the night, and the work continues the next day. It's called 36 hours duty in a government hospital.
That's a lot.
So you start one day, you go home the next day night.
Wow, this is
Yes.
almost like reporters, because when we go out on stories, you could be on that story for a long, long
Okay.
time, Were you given the opportunity of actually being hands-on next to maybe a very senior gynec or a senior surgeon? Were you actually given the chance to help, to assist at that surgery? Was
Yes,
that
definitely. They did give me a lot of chance. There was a lot of learning which happened, like in emergency departments, and there are a lot of people who come in for cuts, for
Yes.
suturing.
Simple
we do
things.
everything.
Oh, they would
we
let you
almost
do simple
everything.
stuff.
Yes, yes.
Okay, that's
we do
nice.
everything on
under
our own.
their supervision?
Yes, they'll teach us and they'll supervise us, and once they get the confidence that we are doing good, they let us do it. Right. Only the minor ones where there is no much, complications later.
Right. Let me jump back now and go back to when you were able to have the time to do some modeling work. What kind of stuff did you do? Was it ramp? Was it for photographic modeling? Was it video work, or what was it?
It was mostly for saris, designer wears, jewelry, and I always go for the modest looks. I don't go for the ramps or anything Western. So that is what I was doing, apart from practicing for the beauty pageants. And also I'm a content creator.
Okay, so, tell me about that.
Yeah, currently I'm having around 63,000 followers. I mostly post medical content in a very, nice way. Instead of scaring them, I just talk about it in a very soft and subtle way, and I advise them to take regular medical health checkups. And apart from that, I do put fashion content. I talk about my everyday life in my hospital, what I do, a little dance sometimes. So it's mix of everything in my content.
They probably people are probably quite interested in seeing all the different avatars that you have really under your collar, Which one is it that you like best? Forget the medicine now.
Okay.
Obviously, that's something that you are very, very fond of. Among all these other things, they are much less intensive, aren't they?
Okay.
Which is the one that you might like best?
I would love doing dancing. It makes me feel, it's more of Western.
Okay.
It's almost like I learned it myself.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a very shy girl back then.
Really?
I never used to go to the stages.
I can't believe that talking to you.
Okay.
You just improved a lot then.
I did. I was very scared to even get on the stage and introduce myself in front of my classmates. I was there. But I slowly started participating in dance competitions. I started becoming the MC of most of my medical conferences in my college. That started giving me a lot of confidence.
Right, and I hope you're not feeling intimidated.
No, you're very sweet.
No, that's a very good thing, because that can be a bit difficult for people, especially when you come into a studio. Is a very forbidding place, as I well am aware of, and most people get very intimidated and think that they're going to be very nervous and, oh my God, what you're going to ask me, how am I going to handle this? But really, it's a lot of fun to be doing something like I'm doing now, because it gives me great pleasure to interview different people. Along the way, your parents have obviously nurtured you, encouraged you to do all of these things. So is there any one thing that your parents would like you to be doing? I know what you like to be doing.
Yeah, my parents are someone who will support me, and they do know that I'll take good decisions. And what they would want me to do the best is being a doctor, being a gynecologist, I feel.
All right, so they're not looking beyond that, right?
They don't really want me to stress myself as well.
Really?
Yes.
That's interesting. Okay. In terms of the content that you are creating, okay, do you think a lot about what you're going to be saying? Do you do it every day? Do you do it once a week? Do you do it once in 2 weeks? Have you got a schedule for yourself?
I did have a very good schedule back when I wasn't preparing seriously. I used to take content every week. I used to take 4 to 5 videos, and I space it and keep posting it. But right now, as I'm concentrating more on my education, I am not being very consistent, and I hope after my exams, I'm very consistent and get back to my track.
Right. Do you have a lot of feedback to your content? I'm not very keen on social media, I must confess.
Okay.
But for you, do you find that a lot of people get back to you? Is there a lot of back and forth? Do they give you comments? Do they tell you what they like? Do they ask you questions? How do you handle that?
Social media is something which is not, it's never consistent. The algorithm, it's unpredictable.
Yes, that's
some
true.
Random videos might hit good numbers,
You
some
can never
might
tell.
not. Yes.
You just can't tell, can you? That's true.
I stopped taking all the negative comments seriously, I feel. Before, I used to be sensitive about people saying, commenting about my clothes or anything else. Nowadays, I'm not really bothered about the negative comments. I take in the good things, I take in the questions that people ask, and I try to make videos around it.
I think, that's a very good way to handle this, because otherwise criticism can absolutely, demolish somebody.
Yes.
Unless, of course, what about constructive criticism?
I'm always all ears for constructive criticism.
So am I. I think constructive is very healthy.
It is.
It's a very, very healthy thing.
It is.
Do you find a lot of time these days? I mean, how many hours a day are you studying now for your exams?
It's supposed to
lot?
be around 6 hours every day or sometimes more. It depends on my mood, more or less.
Okay. Do you have to study it all yourself, or do you have to, do you have help? Do you have what you'd call a tuition teacher, or what?
I don't really have a tuition teacher, but I do have my friends. I have
All
a good
doing the same
friend.
thing?
Everyone's preparing for the same exam. So
Okay.
we sometimes get on video calls and study together the same topic. It makes us feel the topics are easy when we are together.
Okay. Is the exam itself a written exam, or is it tick questions, or how does it work?
It's an MCQ question,
Okay. Right.
type of an exam, which we do it in the computers.
Okay.
It's a 3 hours exam with 200 MCQs. It's +4 for every right and -1 for every wrong.
Ooh,
Yeah.
That's a bit of a tricky one,
Yeah.
isn't it? There must be a time frame as well that you have to do it in, is there?
Yeah, they'll have a set of questions which keeps going to the next session every 45 minutes.
So are you able to actually source older question papers? Are you able to source things like that where you can actually practice the whole system of the exam? Do you do that? Can you do that?
Yes, we do have very good sources out there where students can prepare. A lot of platforms which provides us with all the content we require for this exam, because there are a lot of doctors working towards giving us the best concised materials to revise in the end of the exams.
Right.
We are having hold of all those, and it will be of use for the
So
exams.
Dharshini, tell me, one often sees, advertisements for people who are preparing for this exam and they can come to this coaching class. Are those coaching classes any good?
Definitely.
Are they?
I
Really?
think I did go for one. I wasn't very consistent because I used a lot of other platforms as well to prepare. And I feel the coaching classes or the tutor classes which people go to for the competitive exams, it guides us without making us get lost. They
Really?
have a structure where we can follow them blindly.
Okay.
I feel that is very helpful for students who feel the portions are vast and they're lost, and all that can be avoided.
But does one actually physically have to go to the coaching class,
Yeah,
right?
that is kind of exhausting, but if it's online, it's better.
Oh
Sitting
yes,
at home
that's
and,
true.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think you've got your hands full, including coming for an interview like this. But I've very much enjoyed hearing from you
Thank you.
about how enthusiastic you are about everything that you do. And I'm going to wish you all the
Thank you
very
so
best.
much.
And I hope that you will do very well in the future years, apart from just becoming a very good doctor. Thank you so
Thank you
much
so
for
much.
being here.
Thank you, ma'am.
Well, it was great fun for me to talk to this young lady about her career, what she's thinking about doing, what she's been doing. She's got it all wrapped up. It's all rolled into one. And I think that's a lovely way for anyone to be, irrespective of your age, irrespective of whether you're a boy or a girl or whatever it is. So I hope that you as viewers out there have enjoyed listening to us and listening to Dharshini and all that she's had to tell me. So until the next time, you take care. Bye for now.